Today's video is sponsored by Jackery. So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. This truck right here, Ford F600, this is one of those things, I don't know what I did for all those years without having one. I'm using it all the time for something. Hauling firewood, hauling stone, moving dirt. I've only got about 400 miles on the truck so far. And between firewood, dirt, stone, probably hauled 35 loads with it already. It's such a big truck in a small package, and it turns on a dime. Much tighter turning radius than my F350. So this is going to be a very busy week. That is, if we get some rain. I want to get the food plot all mowed down and then seeded for fall. I want to burn up what I can of these stumps and brush. I want to backfill my big burn pit down there, but I need to burn everything up before I do that. That's where I'm getting all that shale from that I'm hauling over here to the building pad. I dug a big pit, use it to burn all the brush, stumps, all that kind of stuff. And once I'm done with that, I can get it backfilled and then seed that area as well once it's all dressed up. This is the pad for the new building. I stripped all the topsoil off, and I'm bringing this shale in here to bring it back up. It was a pretty flat site, and if you don't do that, you know, you got to bring it back up. You're going to have a hole here, and I don't want that. I want everything sitting up out of the ground a little bit so the water sheet flows away from the building. I'm putting about 6.5 buckets of this shale in the truck. I'm guessing that's probably about 6 ton. But it's a nice amount of dirt, you know what I mean? Like it's enough to do something with. All this dust has me all jacked up again with my sinuses. Hopefully that'll go away later this week. But the weather I keep talking about how dry it is. I don't ever remember it being like this. I mean, we've had long periods without rain, but it's been at least a month and a half without any significant rainfall at all. Now, hopefully that's going to change this week, but it's like our September. It's like August was a normal September, cool. And then this September, where we're in now, is like a typical August. Hot and dry, bone dry. All right, it's coming along. A roller would be nice, but I'm getting surprisingly really good compaction here. That shale, you know, you rake it a little bit, you back drag it, you track it in, kind of breaks down, but you can just tell walking on it. It's tight. Come along pretty good. I'll need about 8 more loads, I'm thinking. Yeah, probably 8 more loads. And at some point, like tomorrow, I need to bring a tape measure out here in my laser. I haven't done that yet. I think I'm pretty flat. It feels flat when I'm in the machine, but we'll check it and tweak it as needed. But yeah, it's coming along great. But right now, I need to head over to the house and get cleaned up. We got some family coming over for a little cookout, so I'll report back tomorrow morning. Earlier, I mentioned that today's video was sponsored by Jackery. Now, if you've been watching our channel for a while, you know I'm a big fan of Jackery products. I use them all the time. I use them down at the wood yard. That's how we power our cabin. Matter of fact, I'm going to use a Jackery unit to power the building at the new wood yard when it's complete. We have it for home backup here in the building. They're phenomenal products, and the technology packed into them is just incredible. This is their new HomePower 3600 Plus. This thing is a powerhouse. Let's do a little test. So right now I'm charging the big steel AP500S battery. This is a big one, and it's pulling 482 watts. The Jackery HomePower 3600 Plus is charged to 100%. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes or a half hour. This battery should be charged here in another 5 or 10 minutes. Now check this out. The output is 520 watts. That battery takes the juice, okay? We're down to 95%. Now keep in mind, a modern refrigerator probably pulls between 150 to 250 watts when the compressor's running. Right now, that's pulling over 500 watts. All right, so the big AP500S fully charged. Battery, 92%. Like I said, that was pulling over 500 watts. Now, here's the really cool part. There are multiple ways to charge it. Like, for example, when I'm at the cabin, I bring the Jackery home with me. I plug it into the truck. It's fully charged when I get home. You can plug it into the wall or solar. Now, check this out. I have the Jackery Solar Saga 500. That consists of 6 panels, and all 6 connect together, but I want to show you what just one panel will do. I don't know if you can see that or not. One panel, just one, the input is currently 62 watts. So if you had all 6 of them hooked up, you're looking at over 360 watts of input. It's incredible. Another nice feature, it's got this handle that pops up and wheels. Move it around very easily. Now, like I said, Jackery has a ton of different products to fit everybody's needs. This one is the Jackery HomePower 3600 Plus. Serious output, 3600 watts continuous power, and up to 7200 surge. It's fast charging, safe and quiet. No fumes, no gas, no noise. I have 3 gas generators, and I should sell all 3 of them. I haven't used them in probably 2 or 3 years. This 3600 is also very versatile. It's built to integrate with your home circuits, RVs, or run as a standalone unit for job sites and outdoor living. Bottom line is this: I love our Jackery units. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here talking to you about it today. They give me peace of mind. It's a great feeling knowing in the event of a power outage, we have all our bases covered. If you'd like more information, there will be a link in the description. Check it out. All right, it is first thing in the morning. We actually got a little bit of rain last night, just a few sprinkles, but it looks like the next couple days we should get a decent amount of rain, and I need to move a lot of dirt before that happens. There's a bunch of turkeys this morning. Morning. So while I'm thinking of it, and before I forget, I'm gonna fix up all these piles of pond dirt right here, kind of combine them into one pile before it rains on them. That stuff right there, probably not gonna get used till next year. It'll get used for a garden, I believe. I was gonna use it for this area right here after I get this big pit backfilled. And you know, this will extend the food plot over here, but I got loads of topsoil. I can just put that in here. This should be enough shale to finish up what I need on the building pad. I'm gonna kind of fix my pile up here. Like I said, combine that into one and start moving more dirt. Now that's a good looking pile of dirt right there. It's amazing, it is. When I took this out of the pond, that would have been a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, I don't even know. It was just saturated. I mean, sopping wet. I piled it up. It wouldn't even pile up, it would just kind of ooze down. And after it dried out, beautiful dirt. Making progress here, but I grossly underestimated the amount of work here. Out of dirt, I thought I had enough shale to put in here. I mean, I got a little bit left over there, but I need at least 4 more loads for the pad itself. And then I keep looking at this one tree. That big one is probably gonna have to go. It doesn't have to go right now, but that one's gonna have to go. This one here, I got to get out of here today. And that's a big one. That's a huge, huge stump right there. I think what I'll do is get the excavator, start working on this tree, take it down, and then you can see how I have the topsoil stripped for the road. I'll clean all that up. I've got this dirt that's left. That's what I hauled from over at the neighbors. That can fill in that stump hole, and I can cut this whole corner off. It just needs to go. No other way around it. All right, I went and got the excavator. Normally when I take trees down, I'll use that 2-foot rake, but I've got the 30-inch bucket on because once this tree's on the ground, I need to dig some more shale out of the ground to use for backfilling this big stump hole and the building pad. Right there, I just cleaned up some of the dirt around it. And with these trees like this, it's a giant root ball. I have learned, just don't get aggressive and don't get greedy. Just dig all the way around it. Like these maples, you don't have to go real deep, maybe about 18 inches, and just dig all the way around it. You break all the roots, and it's just sitting there on a little pedestal, and then you can push it right over. So many times you think, oh, if I just give it a shove or push a little bit harder, I can get it to go. It just doesn't work. You just have to take some time. This one right here took me about 15 minutes with this excavator to get this tree knocked over. About 15 minutes. But as you can see, I dig all the way around it, make sure it's all free, and then give it a push, and it'll go over. So before I clean this tree up, I'm going to come over here, clean up my pile of shale, kind of push everything that way just a bit. Then I'm going to dig some more shale, clean that up over there, and then what I can do, I can stack all this brush real close to the burn pit. Looks like tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, on and off rain. I just need things to get wet before I light that up, but I'll have everything here and I can just keep feeding that fire. But wait till you see the stump hole from this tree. But you can see that good shale down there. That's only down about a foot. That's what I'm digging out of that pit over there. And once I get this giant root ball out of the way here, I'll fill this in. I gotta pull the topsoil that's still around here. You try to do your best to separate everything out because you don't want to mix it. You'll have a soft spot eventually. But I'll get her all cleaned up, backfilled with suitable material, and we'll be good. All right, got some more shale out of the ground. I tell you what, every time I get to the point where starting to get things cleaned up, I make another mess. But I'm glad I got that tree out of there. That's just, I'm happy with that. Yeah, it won't take too long to get that one cleaned up. Cut that corner off up there. Finish up the building pad. And then, like I said, when it rains, start burning, getting rid of stuff. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. Don't forget, sign up to our newsletter. Just go to outdoorswiththemorgans.com. There will be a pop-up that comes up. Enter your email, and you're signed up for the newsletter. And if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. Catch you on the next one.